Wrestling with WWE Money in the Bank. Um, it's coming up next Saturday. It takes place in Ontario, on Toronto, Ontario, Canada, at the Scotland Arena. Um, and it's pretty basic for WWE at this point. This has been the format, 5 match card. Um, kind of wish they would just add one more match, make it 6, and you know, get a couple, just get a couple more faces on the card. Um, it is going to be not everything has been announced for the Money in the Bank. There's still two to be determined people, but we'll get into that in a moment. We got a 6-man tag team match. We got Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, Solo, Coca-Cola, Tama Tonga, the NFT, and the infamous Tangaloa, and or Jacob Fatu. It literally says and or Jacob Fatu. It would make more sense to have Tangaloa and save Jacob for a more impressive match to be featured in, I would say. I think it's actually a good thing to have Cody not defend the belt on this show. Kind of build up the rivalry. Solo is really popping off. Obviously, uh, on Friday he murdered Paul Heyman, which is just going to make Roman Reigns that much of a babyface when he comes back. That pop is gonna be maddening. Um, that being said, I feel like the Bloodline kind of has to win. Um, they there's not a lot of fate in this Bloodline. There's definitely a lot more that needs to be proven. Like when Roman Reigns and the Usos were in matches, like they could drop a match and you won. It would be like, wow, they dropped the match. But you have to make people believe in the threat of Solo Sikoa and the Tongans. They've been doing that quite well as of recently, but Tamatonga, Tangaloa, they haven't been getting a lot of W's as of late. So a high-profile match like this, it could give them the push they need for people to believe in them. Then we have the WWE Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Um, I think this is going to really show whether or not Braun Breaker is ready to play with the big boys. I think Sami could get a lot of great content out of Braun Breaker. I think that they could have a banger. Um, if they're not able to have a banger, then it's because Braun shit the bed. Um, and you might have to reassess things after that. But if things go without a hitch, Braun Breaker will be the guy that um, they've been saying he is, or at least who they want him to be. I don't see Breaker winning the championship. I see this being a smash finish. Probably a disqualification. Sami will retain. Then we have a last chance match for the World Heavyweight Championship. If Priest wins, Rollins can never challenge for the title for as long as Priest is champion. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Um, I I'm gonna be completely honest here. I think Seth Rollins was brought in because they had nobody to wrestle Priest. I think Rollins is going to lose this match, and we're not going to see him for a while after this. Um, I think he's healthy enough to have a match. I don't think he's healthy enough to be on the road like he has been in the last year or so. I think he's doing WWE a favor to some degree, and he will put Priest over properly, and then kind of go into the good night. He doesn't necessarily need to beat Priest for the championship, um, to get another title match. You know, WWE logic. So I see that's kind of what I see. I see that he's going to be doing this match and then taking uh, an extended leave afterwards. I could be completely wrong, but who knows? Alright, then we have the Money in the Bank ladder match for the Women's Championship match contract. We have Io Sky, and on that form she had a Dakota Kai with an Asuka there and a Io there, Asuka there, Dakota everywhere, versus Chelsea Green versus Lara Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi, and one to be determined. My brain is telling me Tiffy and the Bank should be a thing, and I would say all roads lead to Tiffany winning the Money in the Bank. But considering that she's been in hot water as a couple months ago, and she hasn't really been doing anything since then, makes me feel like they might hold the trigger on her. Chelsea Green. It's weird to say, but I could see Chelsea Green winning this match just for the fucking pop. And she got a pop getting into the match. Imagine the pop she could get if she actually won Money in the Bank. And, you know, it would be honestly appreciated. Um, she's been a great part of WWE. A chicken salad maker, to say the least. Everything that she does has worked, and she's made work. She's gotten the crowd on her side. She's a fun character. I would personally like to see Chelsea Green win. I she won it last year, so I don't see her winning it. Lyra, I feel like Lyra isn't the type of person to win the Money in the Bank, if that makes sense. She's not the opportunist-esque type character. She's kinda a straight up person. While I could see her possibly winning it would maybe, if she did win it, it would be interesting if she would maybe just call her shot and say, this is when I'll be cashing in. Something no other woman has done before, and only one other man has done before, and was actually successful. And that was Rob Van Dam back in 2006. I don't see them giving it to Naomi, and whoever TBD is, um, I don't have a lot of faith in them. Um, you know, Io was a heel last year. Give it to a face this year, Lyra Valkyria. And my second pick will be Chelsea Green. Alright, then we have the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's championship contract. We got main event Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade Del Idaho, Chad Gable Stevenson, and LA Knight, with one to be determined. I'm honestly really surprised LA Knight is in this match. That being said, I definitely don't think he's going to win this this contract. I feel like Logan Paul is going to screw him, and we will see Logan versus Knight at SummerSlam. That's setting that up. I mean, Jey Uso is on the poster. It's Yeet in the Bank, and I could definitely see them selling a lot of briefcases with Yeet in the Bank on them. I don't feel Carmelo is quite ready. I mean, he's been popping off as of late, but Andrade, let's face it, Andrade has no heat on him. He has no momentum. I am genuinely curious to see who the last person will be determined on Monday. I feel like we would get a clearer picture, but as things stand right now, I'd be inclined to go with Chad Gable. I think he's pretty over as a heel. I think he could get even more over, especially as a Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Triple H was nothing but praising of Gable when he resigned. And, you know, he should have won the Intercontinental Championship time and time again. I think they held off on that because they want to give him the big one. They want to give him they want to give him the World Heavyweight Championship. I think the only thing that could maybe put a wrench in that is if Finn Balor is in this match, which we shall see on Monday whether or not he is or isn't. If not, I see Chad Gable winning, and my second pick would be Jey Uso. Alright, and that will conclude our coverage of Money in the Bank in this episode as a whole. I cannot believe that I talked all by myself for almost an hour. Fuck me. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Congo Khan, this Wednesday as we interview Clara Carter, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. For Coleco Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with...
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.